And the Wii mode is kind of gimmicky, but you can't deny the power of the Wii. Although I do wish it was in HD. Using composite cables even back then was a tiny bit lame. 2. Wii U. So yeah, this is Nintendo's worst
Ladies and gentlemen,
home-selling console due to the Nintendo's first step into HD. It was backwards compatible with all Wii games, plus the entire Wii Shop channel catalog. The gamepad was a pretty neat controller, despite a few of its shortcomings. You can even use all of your old Wii stuff, which means the Wii U is compatible with like 6,000 controllers. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, it wasn't nearly as powerful as the PS3 or Xbox 360, but it definitely does a lot more than the original Wii did. In terms of the console itself, I do wish it had a bit more internal storage, because 32GB for the deluxe version is pretty low. It's too bad that the console flopped, because it was, and still is, pretty sick. And number 1 is the Switch. I'm sure nobody is surprised this is number 1. And it's kind of strange that it is because it's Nintendo's first hybrid console. Even though it's technically a handheld, it uses the dock and can be played on the big screen. So I think we'll let it slide on this list. What more do I need to say about the Switch? It's one of Nintendo's greatest ideas for a console ever. The Joy-Cons are technical marvels, despite being a bit small. They easily slide into the Switch so you can change them while playing in handheld mode at the same time. The dock itself could use some upgrading, but the ability to switch from handheld to dock is incredibly seamless. And hey, even though the Wii U flopped and people didn't really play all the awesome Wii U games, almost all the best ones have been ported to the Switch, or similar sequels exist now, like Splatoon 2 or Super Mario Maker 2. And if you don't want to use the Joy-Cons, you have the Switch Pro controller, which I won't go into, but you already know it's one of the best in the industry. Now, the Switch is still a new console, so we don't have all the same backwards compatibility like with the Wii and Wii U. But as time goes on, I'm sure they'll add more retro games and they'll continue to grow their library. This was a pretty challenging list to put together, and a big thanks to Nintendo for helping me with this. But the ability to switch from handheld to dock is incredibly seamless. And hey, even though the Wii U flopped and it's one of Nintendo's greatest ideas for a console ever. The Joy-Cons are technical marvels, despite being a bit small. They easily slide into the Switch so you can change them while playing in handheld mode at the same time. The dock itself could use some upgrading, but the ability to switch from handheld to dock is incredibly seamless.